Welcome to Carless and my 1 month review of the Lynk Co 01. So I will just briefly go through some of the good and some of the bad from using the car for a month and over 1,000 kilometers with the car. So I'll start with the good. So the first thing I want to mention is the electric range. So I was pretty surprised that I've actually been able to get 66 kilometers from just using the battery. So the communicated range is 73, I think, or 79. So the communicated range is, I think, 69. The car will show you like 72 or sometimes even 74, but getting 66 when you're actually driving, I think is pretty great. The next thing is the infotainment system. That is actually quite promising. You can't do much with it now, or there are not any sort of external apps, but it feels very modern and it feels like it can improve. So just having different widgets and stuff like that. Lynk Co have communicated that it should be like a smartphone, and in many ways it is, especially if you compare that to other cars where the infotainment system feels were very poorly executed, and it seems like they can't add anything else. They sort of just decided what's going to be in there. Here you feel that they can actually do updates, and they've also sort of embraced that you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Next thing is the suspension in the car. It's quite soft. It's much softer than in a Volvo XC40, for example, in a good way, or at least when you're driving slow in the city or on the highway, it actually performs really well.
Sorry, this function is not supported for now.
Yeah. So
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
We'll get to the software bugs in the bad part later. Next good thing is seats. So they are actually quite comfortable. I don't know if they're as good as Volvo seats, but I haven't had any issues with it. I had the ID3 for 2-3 weeks, and those were terrible. These feel quite good. Some have been sort of worried about the blue interior and the blue seats. I can say that you don't really notice that, or they haven't bothered me at all. Next thing is it's nothing special to the car, but just that it has sort of electric seat for the driving position, and you can link that to the key you're using. It doesn't always work, but I expect that to be improved, but that's really handy. On the good side is also, the overall quality in the car. It feels like good value for money and a high standard. As well, the sound system it's quite good. Not that it's my sort of expertise, but it does fulfill sort of my expectation. A good thing I think is that the front is quite boxy. You can actually see the headlights or the indicators when you're driving, and that gives you a good sense of where the car ends. So it's like driving an old Volvo 740 or 740, which you could just see exactly where the front ended, so it's quite easy to maneuver. It feels easier to maneuver than the XC40, even though the Lynk & Co should be a little bit larger. And another good thing is that it turns heads. I mean, people are actually looking at it and thinking, okay, what's that car? It really stands out. So I had to put that in the positive. Another feature I like is the auto hold button down here under the gear selector. So when you stop at a traffic light, you can press that and you can put your foot off the brake and you can just press the gas pedal when you want to go. I actually been using that quite a lot. At first I didn't know why they would sort of have a physical button for that, but it actually works pretty well. The next things are not sort of specifics to this car, but the sunroof is great, the electric tailgate is great, that it has blind spot detection I really like, and all the sort of other standard assistance systems like auto brake and adaptive cruising control. Those been working quite good, and it feels good that those are standard in the car. So moving on to the bad stuff. I'm going to not talk about software bugs which I expect will be fixed. I don't think it's fair to go over all of them since it's not a sort of ready product. But some of the bad things that I don't think can improve is, well, the wind noise. The mirrors are big and good, so you see a lot, but they generate a lot of wind noise, and they do that a lot more than, say, an XC40 or the Polestar 2. So yeah, so from the beginning that has annoyed me because I can really hear the wind noise. The engine, so the petrol engine, that's quite unresponsive. It works great together with the electric motor, but if you're just driving on petrol, it does feel a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. I mentioned soft suspension as a good thing in the city and on the highway. That gets on the bad side when you're driving on country roads. It feels like a boat. Something like that is sort of tilts. In the beginning the car had really inconsistent braking. So you could hold your foot still on the brake pedal, but it would sort of increase and decrease the braking, which was really annoying. The car has been in for a software update, so it actually improved after that. So I think they have done something for that, so it's better now, but still it can be quite sort of aggressive without you moving the foot. When it comes to the infotainment system, the bad thing is the slow startup. Once it's running, it's good, but it takes a while to get going and just sort of getting into the car, starting the engine, and if you want to input a destination, you have to wait for a while. So I hope they can fix that in some way. David Green has mentioned that they have sort of limited resources in terms of processing power and memory to work with. That's unfortunate. I mean, it's a lot slower than my phone, so I can't sort of really come to terms with that statement. However, one thing I've thought about is if you engage the remote preconditioning, so either heating or cooling down the car, maybe it could start up the infotainment system as well, so that is working when you want to start driving. Otherwise I hope they can fix some I hope they can improve the time slightly, but my experience from the mobile phone industry and sort of slow startups that is that they can't really improve on that after they've released the product. On the bad side, and with the trunk or tailgate, there is no hands-free opening or closing, so I would really love to sort of kick under the car to get it open or closed. Not sure why they didn't include that. Seems like it's getting more and more standard for cars. So living in Sweden, you expect a ski hatch, so an opening in the middle so you can sort of store longer items in the car. Now you have to fold a seat to do that, and yeah, maybe that's just a Swedish thing, but I think that would have been useful as well. And another thing is the highway assist. Maybe they can improve on that, but it's been quite buggy, and I haven't felt like using it because it will go on for a while and then just stop working, so it doesn't really do the job. The cruising control is much better in that sense, that it actually does what it's supposed to do. So I think that was the good and the bad that I've been able to sort of come up with as of now. This is just my sort of first month reviews. I hope I can show you a lot of more sort of videos with features and how stuff works. But overall, I mean, this is a great car, and it's a promising concept. The app as of now is not out and not working, so I hope I can review that later with the car sharing and the app functionality. But I think we have to wait a few more weeks for that to be out. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you want me to do more videos. And see you in the next video. Bye.